Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to our weekly broadcast. I am Sami, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the holiday weekend. We're going to talk about the market. We'll go over some swing ideas for next week. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you're new to our channel, please be sure to download the free ebook. Link for that is in the description. But without further ado, let's turn to the charts and get started. If you find benefit in today's video, please be sure to hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave a comment or email us info@t3live.com. All right, here we go. So the market first, and then we'll go over the swing ideas. So the market, okay, so the market is extremely tricky. Why do I say that? Because usually after a big move up, like we had a couple weeks ago, well, more than a week ago, I don't know what day we had it, but we don't go back down. And the first attempt to go lower usually fails. So this is the first attempt here. So the rally, the drop, okay, we're looking a little lower. But if we drop, I think we'll end up getting bought. So it's extremely tricky. So again, look at the SPY, for sure looks lower, but I know this pattern. I've seen this pattern before. When you have a really strong move, the first sell setup usually fails. So again, short term looks slower, especially on the SPY, especially on the IWM, because the IWM has a very clear line in the sand, which is this bar's low. If we break 182.50, then we should be lower. So the IWM is the clearest or cleanest chart because we have that pivot on the hourly chart, right? A pivot is when you have a higher low on either side of a candle. That's actually the definition of a pivot. A higher low, higher bar low on either side of a candle. That's a low pivot. So if we break under it, we should be lower. Again, on the SPY, we look lower, especially if we break under 520, 520.30. But like I said, it's not an easy call because the first sell setup after a strong move up usually fails. So it's day to day for me, honestly. It's just day to day. It's not like we have it's not like we have a normal pivot like here or a normal sell setup like here. This is not a normal sell setup that we have in the market. So I predict it will be choppy, sloppy, without much follow through. Go until this pattern resolves itself, so to speak. Okay. Now the great thing about the market right now is not the market itself. It's the fact that we are starting earnings season. Earnings season actually started last week, but the first week and a half, 2 weeks maybe, are slow. And then it gets going. The floodgates open up, so to speak. And we'll start to get a lot of opportunities, a lot of companies that report earnings that are completely independent from the market. So you can play the chart almost without paying any attention to the market, which is a good thing because the market is a total mess right now. Okay. So in terms of the swing ideas that I got lined up for this week, here's what I have. I have the ABAT. Unfortunately, it popped kind of hard already on Friday. On Thursday, Friday, the market was closed. So, but I like it higher. Notice the pattern. So if it can base a little bit, I like it higher over this bar's high, which is 122. Stop, I would say just under 102, and then maybe higher to about 225 up here eventually. So it's not quite ready for me to get involved, but it's a good watch. CELH is been bullish and basing, so I just want to see it break out. If it can take out the highs, I'll be in it. Looks good to me. Stop under this bar's low, which is 35.40. So over the highs, stop 35.40. The CHWY triggered already, but it didn't go anywhere. So I like it higher still if it can take out 35.75 with a stop under 34.50. That's actually a tight stop for the CHWY because it's a volatile stock, and target about 40 bucks. Okay. The CRL was in last week's video as a climactic buy setup, so that was last week, and it triggered already, but it didn't go anywhere. So now we have even a more interesting setup, which is a breakout over the base, stop under it. I like it a lot, and target on it 120 maybe 125. Basically, the target on the CRL is really the declining 20 on the daily chart. So right now it's about 135 maybe, but by the time price gets up there, the 20 will have come in a little bit. So maybe around 125 as a target for the CRL. Again, over the base, stop under it, tight stop. That's what I like about it. The CRML is trying to transition on that daily chart. I don't think it's quite ready. Needs to base a little bit, but ultimately I like it as a breakout over the base, stop under it. So it would be over this bar's high, which is 281, stop under 204 or so, okay, on the CRML. The MVST didn't know how to do it. Like, I see it basing really bullishly, doesn't care about the market, and the entry should have been over that bar's high, but I was thinking more as a base breakout. The problem with this as a base breakout, it's a beauty, but the problem is it's going to be a big stop. And the bigger the stop, the smaller the reward to risk, basically. So I like it higher over 190 with a stop under 160 or so on the MVST, but I would have much rather played it long over 172 and given it more room to 152, 153, right? Except that I didn't do it. So I'm watching it. I like it higher. It looks good on the daily. It looks better on the weekly. That's a really nice weekly chart. And I like it higher to about 240 up here on the MVST. Let's see what it does on Monday. Maybe we get a pullback. So I do like the MVST a lot. PAGS, also ignoring the market, but is it really impressive? It isn't. It's ignoring the market. I like it more on the weekly chart. So if you look at the weekly, trying to transition. So over 863, stop under 828, and target maybe up here. Okay, the bottom of that pivot. The bottom of that pivot. And then last thing I got is the STNE, long over that bar's high, stop under 1226 by 1139, and target has room to 15 on the STNE. The shorts, I only have 3 symbols. Notice it's been hard to find good setups because the market has been extremely choppy. So every time I think I found the setup, the next day it fails. So the market is very choppy. The COMM as a short, the longer it bases on the weekly chart, the better it becomes. Basically as a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern. So under 315, stop over 366. Here's the daily chart. It's been basing after a breakdown. Notice that breakdown wiped away, took out like 3 or 4 pivots, which is support, right? It broke down cleanly and has been basing at the lows. So I definitely like it. It's just that the base is very sloppy. So the longer it bases, hopefully the tighter the base becomes and the better the setup. So I would rather play this not this week, but the following week. The IOTR, this is maybe more for fun than not, because then as a legitimate play, because it's down a lot. But look at that base. So short on the base breakdown, stop above it. Okay, just an idea. Under 109 by 133. Okay, on the IOTR. And then the KC had a secondary offering and it looks lower. It based for a couple days now on the hourly chart. So basically under the whole thing, stop above, well, under 1075, stop over 1150, and target about $8 on the KC is a China stock. And that's my list. Again, nothing impressive. The shorts are not bad, and then I like a couple of the longs, such as the CELH, the CRL, and I like the MVST the most. So those would be my favorite 3 for Monday. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you have, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to find out more about what I do, links in the description. But again, I hope you are enjoying the holiday weekend, and I will talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.